What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be taking you through Miami Beach's south of 5th neighborhood. And this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Miami Beach because it's a very small area of Miami Beach, very exclusive. I like it because this area is pretty much close to anything you could ever want in Miami Beach within a few blocks, just walking distance. Let's take a tour through the neighborhood. Okay. So the first thing that is really nice and convenient about this neighborhood is you see this big building right here through the fence. This is an elementary school, and it's consistently rated one of the best elementary schools in all of Miami Beach. And the good thing is if you live in the south of 5th neighborhood here like this, you can send your children to this school and they can literally walk to school, or you can walk them to school. No driving, no school bus, nothing like that. Man, I wish I had that when I was a kid. I used to have to ride the school bus 1 hour to school, and I was the first group of kids to get picked up, and on the way back home from school was another hour ride home because I was the last group of kids to get dropped off. So imagine how torturous that was. If I could have grown up in an area like this, that would have been amazing. So yeah, I've actually had a lot of parents move to this neighborhood in Miami Beach specifically to send their kids to this school because it is a public school. It's not private, but you do need to live in this neighborhood in order to have your kids go to this school. So a couple things I'm going to mention here is, even though south of 5th is kind of a small area, it's actually quite big too. And what I mean by that is it's only 5 blocks long by about 7 or 8 blocks wide, but the blocks are huge. And the reason why they call it south of 5th is, I don't know if you guys can see this up here or not, but that's 5th Street in Miami Beach, and I am south of 5th. So that's north, and turning around is south. And by the way, you're going to hear a little more noise coming through this neighborhood than the last one because it's a little busier. It's pretty quiet for a Miami Beach neighborhood, but there's just going to be more traffic than the last one. Nothing I can do about it. So, anyhow, this neighborhood is one that I would actually consider moving to if I were to leave my current neighborhood in North Beach, because of the fact of how close it is to pretty much anything you could want. And I might have to end up splitting this video into 2 parts because south of 5th does have a lot to showcase, and I want to give you guys like the full idea of what it's like to live here, but I don't want the video to be an hour long. I don't think anyone would actually watch that, so I might end up splitting it like 25 or 30 minute parts and doing like a part 1 and part 2. We'll see. So here we go. You see this little house right here? This is very uncommon. There's also a vacant plot of land here, also very uncommon in this neighborhood. This is probably one of the last vacant lots available in this entire area, and single family homes like this are practically impossible to come by. It's mostly condos right over here. So the single family homes in this neighborhood, needless to say, are very expensive. What's more and more common now are these large loft style buildings like this. Now it's not really large, it's only 3 floors tall, but you can see on this corner that I'm on here, there's literally one there, there's one here, and there's actually one right behind me. So this is a pretty common type of housing here in the south of 5th neighborhood. So I'm gonna like weave in between the different streets so you guys can get an idea of the vibe here. And the further south you go like this, the more like interior you get into this neighborhood, then the quieter it gets. Like where I'm walking right now, it's actually a pretty quiet street, and you actually don't get hardly any riffraff over here because all the tourists that come to Miami Beach pretty much have no idea this exists, you know. They know Ocean Drive, they know Collins Avenue, and they know the beach. They don't know about this. Here's like another nice modern building here. All brand new, of course. Same thing with the one next to it. But there are also some of these older Art Deco charming style buildings right across the street. And it's worth noting that it's pretty expensive to live in this neighborhood, even in one of these smaller Art Deco style buildings, because it is one of the most desirable in Miami Beach. And while I see this parking sign up here, let me kind of explain how this works, because I've seen a few people in the comments ask about parking and things like that here in Miami Beach, how it works. So basically this sign means that you can park here for 2 hours maximum, only Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. if you don't have a permit. So if it's a holiday or after 6 p.m. or you've been here for longer than 2 hours, they will tow you out of here. But that's another hidden secret that most people don't know about, is that you can actually park in some areas of the city, even down here in a very desirable area of the city, for free. So that's something that most people don't know. I don't recommend doing that if you're going to come here for like a beach day or something, because you know the 2 hours will pass before you know it, and the tow trucks do drive by pretty frequently here, and they will haul you out of here. So it's better to just go and park in a garage or a metered spot and just pay for it like that. Now here is another empty lot here, which I'm actually surprised is still here, because this empty lot has been here for a long time, and the fact that no one has built anything here yet is pretty surprising to me, because I've done a fair share of rentals in this neighborhood, even at this building next door, and it looked like a few years ago that they were going to start building something here, but I see that nothing has happened yet. So this neighborhood is really like the ultimate mix of modern and old. I mean, this building, super old and pretty cheap. You could rent a unit here for like $1,400 a month. And then literally next door, you're talking probably $2,000-$3,000 a month minimum. So, you know, the prices range significantly, and that's still quite on the low end. It's very common to, you know, rent a place down here for $5,000-$6,000 a month. No big deal. And when it comes to buying, unless you're going to be buying one of these small apartments, and even these small little apartments will sell for about $300K. But if you want anything significant, you know, 2 or 3 bedrooms or one of these houses, you can easily spend $1 million or more down here. But you'll see why in this video, or the video series, of why it costs so much to live here. So there's another nice modern one right across the street. But then right next door, you got an older, more traditional Miami style building. We have a nice little courtyard here. Nice and peaceful. They also have some townhouses down here too. So pretty much every style of living is available, and you can probably see in the background over there, which I'll show you guys a little later, that some of Miami Beach's most famous high-rises are down here. And so you have high-rise living, you have small garden-style apartment living like this, you have townhouse living, you have loft-style living like I already showed you, and this complex that's coming up straight ahead is called the Quartz. It's the name of the building, and it's basically one big sprawling complex, and it's a condominium complex, but it's very unique because all the units here are completely different. Like, it's not one of those buildings where every unit's kind of the same. It's not like that at all. Basically, this place Has a bunch of different style of units. Like this one here has these corner balconies, and it's more like a traditional condo. But then when you cross the street over here, you can see the ones on the other side are more like townhouse style units, and they even have their own 2-car garage and things like that. So it's a pretty unique complex. They have all different kinds of things inside, you know, pool, gym, all the amenities you'd expect. And then right across the street, you have some more townhouses here. And then coming up on my right is another single family home, which, like I said, are pretty rare in this area, but they do exist. And once in a while, one will come up for sale for a few $1,000,000. But these are like one-of-a-kind properties now. I mean, it's practically impossible to get something like this down here. So when they come up for sale, you're gonna pay a premium for it. And as far as I know, I don't think you can build a single family house like this anymore. Like, for example, here's another empty lot next door. This one I didn't know about because I don't come here too often. I didn't know this one was here. But for example, if you wanted to buy this lot, I don't think you could build a single family home here anymore. You'd be stuck with building some type of townhouse or condo setup to maximize the area. It could be possible, you know, money talks, who knows. So right over here that we're coming up onto, this is one of the main roads in South Beach, actually all of Miami Beach, which is Alton Road. And right across the street is the Miami Beach Marina. So you could still live in one of these condos or townhouses or houses and literally have your boat parked right at the marina just a few blocks away, which is ultra convenient. And I'll go over there in a little while because otherwise it's going to take me forever to walk everywhere and show you guys what's going on here. So let me just take you more around the neighborhood first, and then I'll show you more of like the amenities and those things nearby later on. We have a couple more little single family homes over here. Very rare, guys, very rare. For rent, studio apartment with separate kitchen and closet, $1,400. Given how expensive the neighborhood is, it's not too bad. So I pretty much just did a loop around the block here, a couple blocks. So I'm gonna turn the camera off in just a minute and then resume in a different area really close by, but just so you don't see the same things over and over again, so you guys can keep getting an idea of how things look around here. See, another brand new townhouse, loft style living development, literally right next to these tiny single family homes from the past. So it's pretty unique in that sense. This is not very common in the rest of Miami Beach to see all these different styles of housing all jam-packed right next to each other like this. And this is pretty cool, you know, I mean, if you have the key to your gate, you just come right on up. You can go in like that. Obviously there's a front door somewhere else in the building. It's unique stuff. Actually, I don't need to turn the camera off because I started right up there, and I'll go down this way instead. Yeah, you see? And then there's that other empty lot right over here. So while we're walking a little bit here, let me just tell you some of the things and the amenities that are around here that I will throw in. I'll probably throw in some B-roll shots of all these things because to walk past everything would probably take forever. So it's going to be easier for me to just kind of walk through the neighborhood and tell you about it and show you while I'm telling you. So some of the biggest amenities down here are your walking distance to the beach, which, wow, look how beautiful that is. Super beautiful. Look at those plants, guys. How can you not love seeing stuff like that? These trees up here have some beautiful orchids attached to them. That's gorgeous. This is a nice little surprise. Look at that. My camera got screwed up there for a minute. Sometimes the gimbal freaks out, especially with this microphone that's plugged into it. It doesn't like that much. Anyways, this direction that I'm walking right now is straight to the beach. So I'm walking east, and if I keep going about another 5-6 blocks, I will make it straight to the beach. So that's the first amenity that's nice about this neighborhood. And literally the way I just came back from is about as far west as you can go. Alton Road is the last street behind me. So no matter where you live in this neighborhood, you're walking distance to the beach. That's the first thing. The second thing is coming up, which I will show you in one of my shots, is South Point Park, which is all the way at the south end of the island and is one of the best parks in Miami Beach, and you'll see why in the footage. It's just ultra modern. It's right next to the government cut where all of the cruise ships and all the cargo ships go by. There's rollerblading and biking available there. There's the Miami Beach Pier. You see, look, we have another inexpensive building right here, right in this neighborhood, and right next to me. So that park is pretty awesome. There's lots of spots to sit and have shade. There's like a kids park that even has like a mini little water park in there for the kiddos. So parents love it. They do yoga in the park there. You got bay views and ocean views everywhere in this park. So it's a pretty awesome park, and it's actually my favorite park in Miami Beach. Sorry about that. I had a phone call come in and it totally busted up my video. Anyways, back to the amenities of the South of 5th neighborhood. So coming up, you're gonna see that there's actually a museum straight ahead. Okay, I'm gonna take you down this way. I'm not gonna go to the beach just yet. My phone keeps overheating. I think that's what's going on also. Look at this. Look how unique and different that is. I'm sure pretty much no matter where you live, you've probably never seen a building like this. Now this is another amenity of South Beach in general, not just South of 5th. You see these young ladies taking pictures by this little Jeep up here. Sometimes the hotels will ride you around in one of these or let you take them for a ride. That's pretty cool. Did a rental here a few years back. Also a couple blocks back behind me, there was a building that I did a rental in before. Right across the street here, there's another amenity of the neighborhood. There is a dog park right there. So a nice area to go. Bring your dog. You can let him off the leash, go for a run. This street's a little noisy because this is Washington Avenue, and it's one of the noisier streets down here because it's the main road going up and down. It's the South of 5th neighborhood. So now we're getting down by more where the restaurants are. So we have a little Cuban sandwich shop here. And of course there's like little real estate offices and spas and things like that. Guys, got all the real estate people in there working, trying to sell houses, and I'm out here making videos. To me, that's the life. I wouldn't have it any other way. Did a few rentals here in the past. This is a nice little building, although I have to say the units here are very small. It's called the Cosmopolitan, but the location is second to none. Very convenient. Looks like they just opened a new vegan restaurant here. This wasn't here just a few months ago. So that's one thing that's always cool. You know, South of 5th is one of those neighborhoods where they kind of get everything first, you know? They get all the cool stuff in Miami Beach. So right down that way is the beach, and also my favorite pizza joint in Miami Beach. I'm not gonna go over there yet, but that place is called Primo's Pizza. Definitely the best pizza I've ever had in Miami Beach, and not bad price-wise. And right over here, we got some of the main and most expensive restaurants in the South of 5th neighborhood. We got Milo's, which is an Italian and seafood restaurant. Down this way, you got Fogo de Chão, which is a Brazilian steakhouse, one of mine and Lizzie's favorites in Miami Beach, and my grandparents too. They love coming there. And then up on the left here, that big yellow building is the oldest restaurant in Miami Beach, which is Joe's. And this parking lot right here is all just for Joe's. So you can tell these guys have been here for a while for them to have their own parking lot of this size in Miami Beach right across the street. So they do take away, which I'm sure has been convenient during the pandemic. And even here, they actually are only open like 5-6 months out of the year. That's it. And believe it or not, I've never been to this restaurant. I know I should go. There's still so many places for me to go to and explore, even in my own hometown here. That's like when you guys are asking me about Florida and different areas and stuff, like just the sheer amount of things for me to do right here in my hometown are still abundant. And here's another restaurant. Never been to this place before. Look how nice and cute that is. Nice little lounge area. Come here for a cocktail at nighttime. It's kind of breezy, so the microphone might be picking up some wind right now. But at least you guys can still see what's going on over here. So down on the corner here, there's like a little organic restaurant, also a little gelato store. Right up ahead also is South Point Park, which is the park I was telling you guys about. So right here you got one of the most expensive buildings in Miami Beach, and also one of the nicest, of course, called the And right across the street you got the famous Portofino Tower, which a lot of people have probably seen if you've ever been to Miami Beach because it sticks out like a sore thumb. Next to that, you got the Continuum, also a really nice posh living style building. That one's right on the beach actually, so very expensive as well. So now I'm going to take you guys through the South Point Park like I was mentioning earlier in the video. Probably not going to spend too much time here because you're supposed to wear a stupid mask here the whole time, and it is a little over 100 degrees today, so it is very hot and I won't be able to stand wearing this mask for too long. But I'll give you a brief tour through the area. Not going to go through the whole park, just give you a quick overview. This is a nice little art piece they put in here a couple years ago. Nice little fountains at nighttime. It's beautiful. Lights up with different lights. And straight ahead is that government cut I was telling you about. This is where all of the cruise ships come in and out of the port of Miami. All of the cargo ships come in and out of here. And obviously, if you're parking at the Miami Beach Marina, which is just down that way, I'll bring you guys over there next, then you're going to come through this channel as well. So this park is actually pretty big, and I could probably make a video just on this park alone. So I'm not going to spend too much time here, plus the whole mask thing. So if you guys want to see this entire park, just put a comment below and I will consider making a video just in this park. Right down that way is one of the other famous restaurants we have here, Smith & Wollensky. And then if you keep going down to the end is the Pier. Right across there, Fisher Island, most expensive neighborhood in all of South Florida for sure. I think I even saw a video on YouTube recently saying it's actually the richest zip code in all of the United States. A bunch of celebrities and billionaires have condos and houses over there. So expensive stuff, man. So I'm at the south end of South Point Park, and a lot of times you'll see people doing yoga in the park here. A little later, people working out. There's another dog park here. This lady's got her dog out there in the park. It's actually pretty empty right now. It's usually a lot more crowded than this, but I'm here earlier. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. Come here in a few hours, it'll get a lot more crowded quickly, for sure. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, just some sort of art. But what's going to be pretty cool is the boardwalk that's right behind my house is literally going to connect with the boardwalk that's way back over this way. And so once that happens, I will be able to either ride a bike, or I'm planning on getting one of those electric scooters where I can actually go all the way from my house down here. It'll probably take me about 10-15 minutes to get all the way down here. Right now in the car, it took me a little over 20 minutes to get down here. And it's not even because it's far, it's just because of all the stopping and going, waiting at traffic lights, things like that is what makes it take so long. But you see, it's nice to come for a walk over here, right by the water. Super peaceful, very laid back. If you come in the middle of the day like this, it's the hottest part of the day for sure, but one of the most peaceful times as well. A lot of people are still at work, kids are still in school, they're doing their homeschooling thing, and you can really just come and enjoy this area. So we're getting pretty close to the marina. You can probably see a little bit of it right there. And man, I'm so thankful some of these clouds came, because I'm like drenched in sweat here. Look how empty it is. Actually, every single time I come down here, this area is packed. But I have to say, I pretty much never come down here in the middle of the day like this, so I'm getting pretty lucky with how empty it is, you know, given the whole illness. And I don't really like crowds anyhow, so it's nice to kind of have this to myself. I can totally appreciate that. This is the first dock of the Miami Beach Marina here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Another beautiful building in Miami Beach. Ultra expensive. Everything like this, like one of these high-rise style buildings down here, are all big money. So unless you have like minimum $500,000 for, you know, like a 1-bedroom, forget it. It's just going to cost way more than that. If you want a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, etc., you're already looking into the millions. And they are calling for rain today, so that's another reason I wanted to get out and do this now. I wanted to come out and show you guys a little bit of this neighborhood before the crowds, before the rain, and before my breakfast. Because if you saw my intermittent fasting video, you would know that my first meal of the day isn't until about 4 or 5 o'clock. It's coming up quickly on 4 o'clock, so I'll shoot until I get back to my car, and then I'll probably wrap it up and maybe come back for a part 2, especially with, it looks like it's gonna rain. So this gimbal is not waterproof. Supposedly my iPhone 10 is, but the gimbal is not. So I won't be shooting in the rain. If you guys have seen some of my other videos from the past, you probably have seen this actual shot that I'm showing you right here. This is just such a beautiful little area. You know, you have these gorgeous condo loft style units that have these nice little yards, huge floor to ceiling windows, a roof terrace, super elegant. And what are you looking at? The marina. What a view, huh? Sunsets at nighttime, gorgeous. It's nice to have money, guys, and pretty much everywhere you look in Miami Beach is a good reminder of that. However, I want to make a couple videos in the future also talking about why you don't need all of this shit to be happy, because you really don't. I mean, I don't have any of this stuff. I don't have one of these yachts. You know, I don't have one of these $2 million penthouses or loft condos facing this view, but I am still super happy living here. But I will save that for another video, because I think it's something really important I can talk about, similarly to my feeling left behind video. These guys are out enjoying the path. But the point I want to make in that future video is really that as fun as all this stuff is, and as nice as all of it is, you just don't need any of that to really live a nice, comfortable, and truly fulfilling lifestyle. And I know this because, you know, I came from living in the middle of nowhere in Belvedere, Illinois, to living down here in this urban oasis, you know, probably one of the most beautiful cities in all of South Florida. We have everything you could ever want within like a 7-mile radius here. And you know, I'm perfectly happy with what I have now. You know, like my lifestyle has already been improved so much from the time I first moved here until now. You know, I started off living with a roommate for like the first 6 months. And then I got my own place, which was kind of a piece of crap, but it was still on the ocean. And back then I was renting a furnished 1-bedroom here and paying only $900 a month. And that same apartment now would rent for probably about $1,500 a month. But you know what? It was on the ocean. You could see the beach a little bit from the balcony. You had a balcony. There was parking. Check out the iguana. I don't know if you can see him. He kind of blends in with this grass. He's running right into the water. He's gonna jump right in that water. You'll see. There he goes. No, there's another one right there. Heading for a swim. Time to cool off. I don't blame you. But I started off, living in that piece of crap apartment. And then I met Lizzie, and we ended up moving into our own 1-bedroom apartment together in the building right next door to that one, which was a huge upgrade. It's a really nice apartment for the money. Back then we were paying $1,500 a month, I think, for that. We lived there for 2 years. Then we upgraded our lifestyle 2 years later and moved to an oceanfront unit in that same building, only paying another $150 a month. So we started off paying like $1,650. By the time we left 5 years later, we were paying about $1,800 a month for an oceanfront 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Now that is a pretty sweet boat. Can't help but show you that. Man, if I was driving that thing, I would be so nervous about hitting one of these other boats. Imagine how much of a hassle it is when you get in a car accident. I can only imagine the type of insurance hassles to deal with running into one of these other multi-million-dollar yachts here. So coming up on the right is another very famous restaurant here in South Beach. It's called Monty's. They even have a swimming pool in there. It's mainly a seafood restaurant, but they have a happy hour. Very cool to come here for happy hour, get some cheap drinks, watch the sun go down. In normal times, this is like a party scene every night, and the food's not half bad. So I would recommend definitely come check this place out if you're ever in the neighborhood. And after we get past this restaurant, I'm gonna make a right and head back to the Jeep because those clouds are coming in quick. And if this gimbal gets soaked, it's done for. And we haven't been getting too much rain, so it's not going to be a surprise if we get a huge downpour today. See, then straight ahead is that school that I showed you guys right in the beginning. And this is kind of like a little restaurant slash store complex here. There's a few little surf shops and some restaurants in here. Also another Brazilian steakhouse called Texas de Brazil. All you Brazilians out there probably heard of that. Luckily, I just parked about a block that way, so I'll be able to get back to the car before the rain comes. So most likely I'll have to split this video up into 2 pieces. I showed you guys as much as I could right now before I get poured on. But I didn't show you the beach yet. I didn't show you all of the restaurants. I didn't show you the rest of the South Point Park. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I will do a part 2. I know you guys seem to really enjoy my last neighborhood tour video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Alright guys, I'm right back where I started. I'm calling it quits because of the potential rain, but if you want to see a part 2 of this video, just let me know and I will probably make it happen for you. I live right down the street, so it's not that hard for me to do, but also I'll be able to see just by how well the video does and how many views it gets, thumbs up, things like that. I'll know if you guys really want to see that part 2. So thank you for hanging out with me, and if you want to keep hanging out with me, go ahead and check out my other neighborhood walk video if you haven't seen it already, right over here, and I'll see you guys over there.